Welcome, my friend. If you are here right now, it means something inside you has been whispering, maybe even shouting, "Why can't I move? Why do I feel stuck? Am I lazy?" But listen closely, this video is not here to judge you. It is not here to give you 10 quick tips and then disappear from your life. This is different. This is today's growth. And here we slow down. We breathe. We look at life the way it really is. Because the truth is simple. You are not lazy. What you are feeling is not weakness. What you are facing is not failure. So many people carry heavy burdens, dreams unfulfilled, responsibilities stacking higher, expectations pressing down. And when the weight grows too heavy, it looks like laziness. It looks like you are doing nothing. But in reality, you are fighting battles no one else can see. Think about it. How many times have you called yourself lazy when really you were exhausted? How many times have you blamed yourself for being unmotivated when really you were overwhelmed? You are not lazy, you are human. And being human means carrying both light and heavy days. In the next minutes, we will walk together through the truth about laziness, motivation, and growth. We will uncover the real reasons you stop and the real steps that help you move again. And as you listen, I want you to practice English with me, my friend. Along. If you are here right now, it means something inside you has been whispering. Because this is more than even just a message. Why can't I move? It is a lesson for your language. Why do I feel stuck? And for your life. Am I lazy? So stay with me until the end. This video is not here to judge you. If you want. It is not here to give you 10 quick me every time we grow and then disappear from your life. Breath. This is different. Settle in. This is today's growth. Let's begin. And here we slow down. The weight of too much. We look at life the way it really is. You are not lazy. You are carrying too much. Think of life as a backpack. Every responsibility, every problem, every dream you haven't yet reached, all of it goes into that bag. At first, it's light. You can walk. You can move. But over time, more gets added. Bills, deadlines, expectations from others, pressure from yourself. Slowly, without noticing, the bag becomes heavy. Now imagine someone looking at you from the outside. They see you sitting still. They see you not moving. And they think that person is lazy, but they don't feel the weight you are carrying. They don't see the invisible backpack on your shoulders. You are not lazy. You are weighed down. Have you ever sat at your desk, staring at the work in front of you, feeling like lifting a finger is impossible? Not because you don't want to do it, but because there is too much to even know where to begin. That's not laziness. That is overload. When your brain sees too many tasks, it freezes. When your heart feels too many responsibilities, it shuts down, and when you shut down, you call yourself lazy. But what you are really saying is, I am overwhelmed. Take a moment right now. Ask yourself, is it true that I am lazy? Or is it true that I am carrying more than I can handle alone? If your answer is the second, then let me tell you this, there is hope. The weight can be lifted. Not all at once, but step by step. You don't empty the whole backpack in a single day. You take out one item and suddenly the bag is lighter. You are not lazy. You are overloaded. An overload can be changed. Lesson 2. Fear disguised as laziness. The second truth is this. What you call laziness is often just fear in disguise. Think about the last time you avoided a task. Maybe it was sending an important email. Maybe it was starting a new project. Maybe it was talking to someone you've been meaning to talk to. You told yourself, I'll do it later. You told yourself, I'm just too lazy right now. But was it laziness or was it fear? Fear whispers, what if I fail? Fear whispers, what if they reject me? Fear whispers, what if I am not good enough? And so you delay. You wait. You call yourself lazy. But the truth is, you were protecting yourself from the pain of failure. Laziness was never the enemy. Fear was. Picture a runner standing at the starting line. The path is open, the race is ready, the crowd is waiting. But the runner doesn't move. From the outside, it looks like laziness. But inside, their legs are shaking, their heart is racing. They are terrified of losing, terrified of stumbling in front of everyone. That is not laziness. That is fear. Maybe you know this feeling well. The times you didn't study for the exam, not because you didn't care, but because the thought of trying and failing felt worse than not trying at all. The times you didn't apply for the job, not because you were lazy, but because you feared rejection. Here is the truth. You will never escape fear completely, but you can learn to walk with it. You can take action even when fear whispers in your ear. So the next time you tell yourself, I'm lazy, ask instead, am I afraid? Because once you name the fear, it loses its power. You are not lazy, you are scared. And scared does not mean weak. It means you are standing at the edge of growth. Lesson 3. The weight of perfection. The third truth is, what you call laziness may simply be the weight of perfection holding you down. Perfection whispers, if you cannot do it perfectly, don't do it at all. And so the project sits unfinished. The idea never leaves your mind. The dream stays locked in a notebook, not because you don't care, but because you are afraid it won't be perfect. Have you ever written and rewritten the same sentence, deleting it again and again, until the page stayed blank? That is not laziness. That is perfectionism. Perfection creates an impossible standard. It convinces you that every move must be flawless, every word must shine, every step must impress. And because perfection is impossible, you do nothing. You freeze. From the outside, people see laziness. But inside, it is fear of imperfection, fear of not measuring up. Think about a painter staring at a blank canvas. They have the colors, the brushes, the vision, but the canvas stays white. Why? Because the first stroke might not be perfect. And so they never begin. Here is the truth. Nothing starts perfect. The first step is never flawless. The first word, the first attempt, the first draft, they are always messy. They are supposed to be. Growth is not about being perfect. Growth is about beginning. So the next time you whisper to yourself, I'm too lazy to start, ask instead, am I afraid of imperfection? And then remind yourself, imperfection is progress. Messy action is still action. You are not lazy. You are trapped by perfection. And perfection loses its power the moment you begin. Lesson 4. The loop of overthinking. The fourth truth is this. Overthinking is often mistaken for laziness. Have you ever sat down ready to start and did nothing? Hours pass. The page stays blank, the task untouched. That is not laziness. That is overthinking. Your mind begins to replay every failure. You imagine people judging you. You worry about every possible mistake. And soon you are frozen, not because you don't want to act, but because you have thought yourself into paralysis. Overthinking is like running on a treadmill. You are moving, sweating, exhausting yourself, but you are not going anywhere. From the outside, people think you are idle. Inside, you are racing at full speed in your head. The truth is, your brain is trying to protect you. By rehearsing every outcome, it believes it is keeping you safe. But safety becomes a prison. The task is never started. The work is never done. So how do you escape the loop? By acting before the thought cycle can trap you. By taking the first small step, even while the doubts are screaming. Write the first word. Send the first message. Do the smallest action. Because once you act, the overthinking begins to lose power. Remember, you are not lazy. You are caught in the loop of thought, and loops can be broken with one brave step. Lesson 5. The Drain of Hidden Tiredness. The fifth truth is this. Sometimes what looks like laziness is really exhaustion you have been ignoring. We live in a world that praises productivity, busyness, constant motion. And so when you stop, when you cannot move, when you collapse on the bed, instead of finishing the task, you call yourself lazy. But ask yourself honestly, are you lazy or are you tired? Tiredness is not always physical. Sometimes it is mental, emotional, even spiritual. Carrying too many responsibilities, worrying about too many problems, pretending to be strong for too long, it drains you. It empties your tank until nothing is left. Imagine trying to drive a car with no fuel. The engine sputters, the wheels do not turn. You would not call the car lazy. You would say it needs fuel. And yet, when you run out of energy, you insult yourself instead of refueling. Rest is not laziness. Sleep is not weakness. Pausing is not failure. Rest is the fuel that makes action possible. So the next time you lie down when you should be working, don't rush to call yourself lazy. Ask instead, am I drained? Am I running on empty? If the answer is yes, then the solution is not punishment. The solution is rest. You are not lazy. You are tired. And tiredness can be healed. Reflection Section 1. Pause here. Take a deep breath. Think about the last few lessons. The weight of too much. The fear disguised as laziness. The trap of perfection. The loop of overthinking. The drain of hidden tiredness. Which one felt like your story? Which one sounded like the voice inside your head? Remember, awareness is the first step. Once you know the truth behind your laziness, you can begin to change it. Repeat this with me slowly. I am not lazy. I am learning. I am growing. I am stronger than I think. Take another breath. And let's continue. Lesson 6. The Fog of No Direction. The sixth truth is this. What looks like laziness is often the fog of not knowing where to go. Picture walking into a forest with no map. Trees stretch endlessly in every direction. Which way do you move? Left, right, forward, back? With no path, every step feels uncertain. And so you stand still, not because you don't want to walk, but because you don't know where the road leads. That is what happens when your life lacks clarity. You sit at your desk, you open your books, you face your work, but you don't move. Not because you are lazy, but because you have no clear direction. Clarity gives energy. A clear goal is like a lighthouse. It cuts through the fog and shows you where to sail. Without it, you drift. Have you ever felt unmotivated in school, not because you hated learning, but because you didn't see the point? Or maybe at work, you delayed projects not from laziness, but because the goal was unclear. Here is the truth. People are rarely lazy when they know exactly why something matters. Purpose fuels action. So instead of punishing yourself for laziness, ask, do I really know where I am going? Do I see the reason behind my steps? If the answer is no, then the solution is not more pressure. The solution is vision. You are not lazy. You are lost in the fog. And once you find your path, the fog begins to clear. Lesson 7. The silence of no reward. The seventh truth is this. What looks like laziness can be the silence of no reward. Humans are wired for reward. A small prize, a word of encouragement, a sign that progress is being made, it fuels us. But when there is no feedback, no recognition, no celebration, motivation fades. Imagine playing a video game with no points, no sounds, no level up. You press the buttons, but nothing happens. How long before you stop playing? Not long. And yet in life we often expect ourselves to keep going endlessly without reward. Think about the student who studies hard but never hears well done, or the worker who gives their best but only hears criticism. Eventually, effort feels pointless. And when effort feels pointless, you stop. People call that laziness, but it's really a lack of reward. The solution is simple but powerful. Create your own rewards. Celebrate small wins. Clap for yourself. Mark your progress. Tell yourself, I did something today and that matters. Because action without reward feels empty. But even the smallest celebration can reignite your fire. You are not lazy. You are uncelebrated. And celebration is fuel. Lesson 8. The poison of comparison. The eighth truth is this. What looks like laziness may be the poison of comparison. You scroll through your phone. You see friends succeeding, strangers achieving, people your age traveling, building, shining, and suddenly your own progress feels worthless. Why even try when others are already ahead? Comparison kills momentum. It convinces you that your small steps don't matter. It whispers, you'll never catch up. Don't even start. And so you don't. From the outside, it looks like laziness, but really, it is despair. Imagine running a marathon but constantly looking sideways. Every time you turn your head, you lose speed. You trip. You fall. Not because you can't run, but because you were too focused on others. Here is the truth. Your race is yours alone. Someone else's speed, someone else's success, someone else's timeline, they do not define yours. So the next time you stop moving because you feel behind, remind yourself, I am not late. I am on my path. You are not lazy. You are poisoned by comparison. And comparison loses its power the moment you focus on your own lane. Lesson 9. The trap of waiting for motivation. The ninth truth is this. What looks like laziness is often the trap of waiting for motivation to arrive. Many people believe they must feel ready before they act. They wait for inspiration, for energy, for the perfect mood. But days pass, weeks pass, months pass, and nothing changes. From the outside, it looks like laziness, but inside, you are waiting. Motivation is not a bus you wait for. It is a fire you build. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Think of a cold engine. You turn the key, but at first it struggles. Then slowly it warms. Finally, it runs strong. That is how motivation works. You do not wait for it to appear, you create it by starting, even small. Have you ever cleaned your room? At first, the thought was heavy. But once you picked up one shirt, then another, suddenly you felt momentum. You didn't wait for energy. Energy came after the action. So instead of asking, "How can I get motivated?" ask, "What tiny step can I take right now?" Because once you move, motivation follows. You are not lazy. You are waiting for a bus that never comes. Start walking, and the road itself will give you energy. Lesson 10. The voice of inner criticism. The 10th truth is this: what looks like laziness can be the heavy voice of your own inner critic. That voice says, "You'll fail anyway." It says you're not smart enough. It says, "Why try? You'll only embarrass yourself." With that voice inside, every step feels heavy. Why start the project if you already believe you'll ruin it? Why apply for the job if you already hear no in your mind? This is not laziness. This is self-sabotage born from doubt. Imagine a child trying to ride a bicycle while someone walks beside them, whispering, "You'll fall. Don't bother. You can't do this." How long will the child keep trying? Not long. That is what happens inside you. The critic whispers, and your effort dies. The solution is not to silence the voice completely. That may never happen. The solution is to speak louder, to replace the critic's lies with truth. When the critic says, "You'll fail," answer, "Failure is part of learning." When it says, "You're not enough," answer, "I am growing, and growth takes time." You are not lazy. You are listening to the wrong voice. And the good news is you can choose a different one. Before we finish, let's pause for one final reflection. Look back at everything we've uncovered. You are not lazy. You are carrying too much. You are not lazy. You are afraid. You are not lazy. You are trapped by perfectionism. You are not lazy. You are overthinking. You are not lazy. You are exhausted. You are not lazy. You lack clarity, not discipline. You are not lazy. You are responding to unrewarding systems. You are not lazy. You are comparing yourself unfairly. You are not lazy. You are waiting for motivation instead of building it. And you are not lazy. You are listening to an inner critic that was never yours to begin with. Each lesson points to the same truth. Laziness is not your identity. It is a label placed on top of struggle, fear, and misunderstanding. Take this moment. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Place your hand on your chest and say to yourself, "I am not lazy. I am learning. I am growing. I am becoming." That is the truth you must carry forward. Because change doesn't happen in one leap. It happens in steps. Small steps, repeated steps, brave steps. And here's my invitation for you. If these words spoke to you, don't keep them inside. Share this message with someone else who feels stuck. Let them know they are not broken, not hopeless, and not lazy either. If you want more encouragement, more lessons, and more truth to strengthen both your English and your life, subscribe now and stay on this journey with me. Because remember, you are not behind. You are not failing. You are simply learning how to move forward at your own pace, in your own way. And until next time, keep learning, keep taking small steps, and keep growing.